From the pages of history, there's one conquest that stands out for its immense impact: when the Roman Republic took control of Greece. This event shaped the future in ways that we still feel today, influencing the course of civilizations for generations to come. Just 15 years before, the Roman Republic had won a big war against Carthage called the First Punic War. This victory made Rome super strong at sea. Over in the east, there were other big kingdoms like Macedon, Ptolemaic Egypt, and the Seleucid Empire. They all wanted to control more land along their borders. In between these big kingdoms were smaller ones like Pergamon and some Greek city-states. This was how things were in the late 3rd century BC, but soon, Rome and Macedon would start fighting, changing everything. Let's talk about Illyria, which is now where Albania and Dalmatia are. Back then, people thought it was a wild place, not very civilized compared to the Greeks and Macedonians nearby. People from other, more civilized places saw the Illyrians as rough and always ready for a fight. One tribe in Illyria, called the Ardiaean, started getting stronger in the 230s BC. They were led by a king named Agron, and they made friends with important people like Demetrius, who was in charge of Pharos, a Greek island. Around the same time, Epirus, a nearby kingdom, was falling apart. The Illyrians saw their chance and took over Epirus's land, including its richest city, Phoenix. After King Agron died, his son was supposed to take over, but Agron's wife, Tuta, ended up running things. Under her, piracy in the Mediterranean got worse. With the new territory they took from Epirus, the Illyrians had more places to attack ships from. This had been going on for a while, but now it was a big problem, especially for Roman traders. The Romans usually liked fighting, but this time they tried talking first. They sent 2 brothers to Illyria to tell Tuta to stop the piracy. They didn't ask nicely, though. They basically said, "Stop or we'll fight you." But Tuta didn't listen, and things got worse when they killed one of the Roman brothers. The Romans didn't just want to stop the piracy, they also didn't want the Ardiaean tribe getting too powerful in the Adriatic Sea. So in 229 BC, they sent a big army and a lot of ships to take on the Illyrians. It was a big fight, and the Romans won easily. After losing, Tuta had to agree to a peace deal with Rome. She had to give up some land, and she couldn't let her people do piracy in the southern part of the Adriatic Sea anymore. But peace didn't last long. After the peace deal in 228 BC, Demetrius of Pharos got a good deal. Rome gave him his own little kingdom, right between where the Ardiaean kingdom used to be and the Greek cities. But Demetrius wanted more. He married Trituta, who was the mom of the young Ardiaean king, making him kind of the boss of the kingdom again. It was like he was trying to bring back the powerful Illyrian kingdom that Rome had beaten before. Instead of being happy with what he got, Demetrius started causing trouble. He attacked other tribes that were friends with Rome, maybe thinking Rome wouldn't do anything. But he was wrong. Even though Rome was busy with another war, they weren't going to let Demetrius keep causing problems. Demetrius went too far. He took a bunch of ships and started raiding cities around the Adriatic Sea, breaking the peace treaty from 8 years before. Rome had had enough. They saw Demetrius as a threat to their plans and felt like he had betrayed them. So Rome decided to teach Demetrius a lesson. They sent a huge army to deal with him, making sure to finish things quickly so they could focus on other problems. Demetrius thought he could get away with anything, but he learned the hard way that Rome wasn't going to let him. Demetrius tried to defend his forts at Demalum and Pharos, but he failed. The Romans captured Demalum in just 7 days, and he lost Pharos in a rushed attack. Fortunately, he had hidden ships. When he realized he was losing, he fled on these ships, leaving his family behind. Many of his soldiers died. He didn't stay in one place for long. He sailed south to Actium, where he found Philip V's fleet. Philip welcomed him warmly and made him an important advisor. The Romans withdrew from the area, signaling to Philip their readiness to intervene in the east if necessary. Demetrius became an advisor to the king of Macedon, Philip V. Philip V faced challenges, including the social war, and was influenced by Demetrius of Pharos to consider expansion westward. They prepared for conflict with Rome, but retreated when Roman forces approached. Philip V sought alliance with Hannibal after Rome's defeat at Cannae. He intensified attacks on coastal Illyria, prompting Rome's intervention. A war ensued, with Philip making gains until Rome rallied its allies for peace talks, leading to the Phoenician Treaty. Philip took advantage of Egypt's weakness, alarming neighboring states. Aggressive expansion prompted a coalition against him, leading to preparations for war against Philip. Cretolaus, another anti-Roman leader, led an army toward Thessaly but was intercepted and defeated by the Roman army at Scarphia. The Romans continued south, crushing the Argives at Chaeronea. Diaeus assembled an army in Achaia, but was outnumbered and defeated by the Romans at Leucapatra. In the aftermath, Rome razed Corinth, establishing control over Greece. This marked the end of Greek autonomy, with the region added to the province of Macedonia. Despite subsequent rebellions, Greece remained under Roman control for centuries, exemplifying the imperial strategy of divide et impera. Despite this, Greek culture continued to influence subsequent eras, contributing to periods of enlightenment and cultural development.